NASCAR Cup Series qualifying is officially concluded for Martinsville Speedway, and Truex Jr. has won his first pole of 2024. What's going, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, NASCAR Cup Series qualifying is officially concluded for Martinsville, and Truex Jr. has won the pole. This is Truex Jr.'s first pole of 2024. This is a really huge deal for Truex Jr. We know that after next week at Phoenix, Truex Jr. is going to retire from full-time racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. He, of course, will make select starts in the Cup Series, most likely the 20-11, depending on how the lawsuit goes. He'll run the Daytona 500, most likely the 20-11. But to think that this is basically the end of his full-time career next week, this is a really huge confidence booster. And this 19 car was really, really good on the long run in practice. He had the fastest car in practice, had one of the 2 or 3 best long run cars in practice, and I think that this 19 team has a ton of momentum. 2024 has been a really frustrating year for Truex Jr. I know he wanted to win before the end of the season, before he retires from full-time racing. He wanted to go out and get it done. And while it hasn't gotten it done just yet, to see him win the pole, it's really, really incredible. It would be a really popular win if Truex Jr., who's done a lot for the sport and has given a lot back to the sport for a very long time, it would be really cool to see him go out there and win tomorrow. He's got a really fast car. I like the speed he showed. And to see him get the pole, which could be his final career Cup Series pole, it's a really huge deal for him. Major congratulations to Truex Jr. on getting it done. He'll be looking to get his first win in 2024, what I believe will be his 34th or 35th career Cup win if he can get it done. Congratulations to Truex Jr. on winning the pole. So now we're going to talk about all the top starters and talk about all the notable drivers as well. So Truex Jr. wins the pole. Chase Elliott qualifies second, just missed out on getting the pole, but that 9 car was very, very quick. The best of the playoff drivers, loved the speed he showed in practice, had one of the best cars on the long run, had the best car, I think, in a 10-lap average too, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely loved the speed from the 9 team. He's qualifying up front. The best Chase has qualified in quite a bit of time. He's been good at Martinsville historically. He needs to win tomorrow. Good start for him. He'll be starting in second. William Byron qualified third. Basically 7 points above the cutoff line. Really good speed in practice. Really good qualifying run. Thought he was going to have a chance and opportunity to win the pole, but still really good speed from Byron. He'll be starting in third position. Love the speed from the number 24. Chase Briscoe qualified fourth. Chase Briscoe, a lot of people are going to say it's a surprise. When you look at Briscoe historically at Martinsville, he's actually been pretty good here in the next-gen era. And I think he's going to be better next year in that 19 car, but really good speed from Briscoe. Qualifying inside the top 5. Great job for Briscoe to start in fourth. Ty Gibbs qualified fifth. Good speed from the 54 team. They showed some decent speed in practice. They were all over the place in practice, but to qualify inside the top 5, really good to see. Ty Gibbs has been hit or miss at Martinsville in the past, so good to see Ty Gibbs qualify inside the top 5. He'll be starting in 5th position. Harrison Burg qualifies 6th. Big shout out to him. Best qualifying performance I've seen him have in a very long time. Probably since Darlington in the spring of 2023. Very impressed with the 21 car. Shows some decent speed on the long run as well. He'll be starting in 6th. Really good speed from Harrison to start inside of the top 10 and 6th. Alex Bowman qualifies 7th. Pretty good speed, starting inside the top 10. Bowman continues to have a really strong run in these playoffs. He's been really solid throughout the playoffs so far. He'll be starting in 7th. Great speed from Alex Bowman. Ryan Preece qualified 8th. This doesn't surprise me that he qualified really well, considering he won a pole gear last year in the spring. I think Ryan Preece is going to be a guy that you have to watch out for in the race. He's a really good short track racer, and the 41 team has shown some decent pace and speed this weekend, so I think he's got an outside chance and opportunity to maybe contend for the win. Kyle Larson qualified 9th. A little disappointed by Larson. The good news for Larson, though, is he has a really good long-run car. He had the 4th best 30-lap average car, and I think his car on the long run especially is going to be really, really strong. The question will be, can he keep up with the track? That's going to be a big thing for Larson. Larson's 7 points below. He's going to have a little work to do getting by William Byron, but he's beaten Christopher Bell, so that's a very important thing. He'll be starting in 9th. And Austin Dillon qualified 10th. Very impressed with Austin Dillon in qualifying. I think he's got a car capable of getting up there, maybe potentially decent speed. Remember, he won Richmond in controversial fashion. He'll be starting in 10th in the race tomorrow. Going through the other notable qualifiers, Josh Berry, 11th. Decent speed from Berry. He's been solid here in Martinsville. Won an Xfinity Series race here not too long ago. He'll be starting at 11th. Joe Logano qualified 12th. Not bad for Logano, obviously already locked in, but basically the first of the playoff guys. That's a crazy thing, too. Only 3 guys that are in the playoffs right now made the final round. Todd Gillen, 13th. Solid speed in practice. Top 5, top 10 mostly in practice. And 13th in qualifying. One of the better qualifying runs I've seen from Todd Gillen in recent weeks. Good speed from Todd Gillen. Ryan Blaney qualified 14th. A little bit disappointed. He did have some decent long run speed in practice, but a little disappointed by how they showed in qualifying. He'll be starting a little bit farther back in 14th position. Dale Hemrick, again, decent speed in qualifying, starting in 15th. Not bad for the 31 team. Christopher Bell qualified 16th. For a team that's usually qualified really, really well, disappointing for Bell. He's been all right here at Martinsville, but if he has a disastrous run tomorrow like he had in the spring, that gets me a little bit worried. But 16th can have a little bit of work to do, and a little nervous for the 20 car. He did show some decent speed in practice, but not the best speed that I was looking for. He'll be starting farther back in 16th position. Brian Gonzalez qualified 18th, not too bad, but not too great. Bubba Wallace 19th. He actually had a top 10 car in practice early, lost some of that speed in practice. He'll have a little bit of work to do in the race. He'll be starting 19th. He had a top 5 here in the spring, showed some really good pace there. He'll be starting in 19th, and Daniel Suarez qualified in 20th. Ross Chastain qualified 22nd. Not great for Chastain, all things considered. We all know, of course, 2 years ago we had the Hail Melon stuff happen. He'll be starting a little bit farther back. Kyle Busch, 23rd. Disappointed by Kyle Busch again, but I'm really not shocked by the speed. Kyle Busch has not been that great in the next-gen era at this track, and I was really worried he wasn't going to have that speed. He hasn't really shown that. He'll be starting back in 23rd position. Carson Osbar, another little bit of a disappointment. No speed from the Spire cars at all. He'll be starting in 27th. Shane Van Gisbergen qualified 29th, making his final Cup Series start of 2024 before he goes full-time Cup racing in 2025. Not too bad for him, all things considered. I know his teammate qualified a lot better. It seems like Hog's bringing a little bit more speed, but he's going to have a little bit of work to do. He'll be starting back in 29th. Justin Haley qualified 30th. Tyler Reddick, 31st. A little bit of work to do in the race, but good for him. He's already locked into the next race at Homestead. And then Denny Hamlin, that's the big one we need to talk about. He is starting in last because he crashed in practice. Denny Hamlin had some sort of rubber get into the rocker panel of the car, so that means Denny Hamlin's going to have a lot of work to do. He's now in a must-win situation. He's not going to be able to make up those points. Denny Hamlin's going to have a ton of work to do going into the race tomorrow afternoon. So, that is going to be it for the reaction to qualifying. What are the big storylines going into the race? Well, the big story is the tire. It did look like the tire did have some fall off over the long run. It took a long time for that tire fall off to come in, but I was a little bit encouraged by what I saw during practice, during that 45-minute practice session. I saw multiple lanes available, multiple grooves available, and I think that will hopefully create a much more exciting Martinsville. We all know in the next-gen era, Martinsville has not been able to provide the greatest and most exciting racing. I really hope we can get a really good show and a really good product. I'm a little nervous about how the race is going to be, so hopefully we can get a good race. Hopefully with the tire fall-off that we saw, we can see a really solid race in the NASCAR Cup race tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be the big storyline going into the race to watch out for and see if Denny Hamlin also can recover and move back up to the front. So, that is going to be it for reactions in NASCAR Cup Series qualifying at Martinsville. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts on NASCAR Cup Series qualifying? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And congratulate Truex Jr. on winning his first pole of 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later tonight on the channel, you will see reactions to NASCAR Xfinity Series race in Martinsville Speedway, and we'll likely have a Shane Van Gisbergen video most likely dropping as well. Then tomorrow on the channel, you will see the starting lineup video for the NASCAR Cup Series race in Martinsville, the Xfinity 500. You, of course, will see basically the race review and another Shane Van Gisbergen video most likely. You also might see some content later this week and guys like Kurt Busch, Carlos, Haley D, and all that kind of stuff later this week. Got a lot of great content dropping that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.